Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're going to do a quick review of the AD20. But before we get into the review, please like the video, subscribe, follow the Instagram, and like the Facebook page. Alright, let's get into some quick size comparisons first. My normal obvious, got the either the Sabenzo or I'm going to do the Nkosi. Very similar size knives anyway, so it's a good size comparison. They're pretty darn close to the same size. Same thing with the S&G. There you go. Then XM18, 3.5 inch. There you go. And we're gonna add something a little extra to it, which is the Holt Spectre. There you go. Do something most people probably have, which is the Shaman. There you go. Something most people already have too. You either have this or the Shaman, or you might have both. But there's a 940. There you go. And an easy size comparison. The full tie AD20 Slim. As you can tell, there is no difference in the actual size, except for one interesting thing: the blade. I didn't really think about it or realize it. Handles the same, but these blade styles are not going to be the same blade length. They are ever so slightly different. So we line them up here straight down so you guys can see the S is slightly longer, not by much, as you can tell. It's just a little sliver. So if like you aim this here, this line right there, boom. It's just ever so slightly shorter. Just by a tiny bit. I don't know if that matters to anybody, to be honest with you. So the Slim and this is the full thickness. You can tell the difference here. There is a substantial difference. There. Okay. So from there, we will move on. So this is a full thickness, full flat grind, meaning the grind here starts here full thickness, tapers all the way down, and tapers this way all the way down. So from here, it just tapers. So the point is thinner, the actual blade, if it will focus, is thinner. Unlike the 20 Slim, even though it has a slimmer blade, it starts here and then tapers down. So believe it or not, this is maybe the full thickness, and the other one may be slim, but this slice is better because of the full flat grind. It comes to a much finer edge. So overall, this may be more durable when it comes to the whole entire blade, but the edge is thinner, it's slicier. it is noticeably lighter. This is around 5 ounces, where the full tie over there is 7.5. So it's about 2 to 2.5 ounces heavier. Significant weight difference. This one is basically pretty much a user to me. As you can tell, there's dirt on it everywhere, but I mean, I use my stuff, so I know how well it works. This is CPM 3V, very, very good. Has held up great. Let's see. As it being a user, I need to get. It still cuts pretty good. With no real issue. Phone book paper very thin, harder to slice than the normal paper, and with no real tension. Still slices just fine. And I have abused this pretty significantly. I have used it quite a lot. There are some nicks, if you can tell, like when the light hits it over here. There's a few here, and there's a few over there, but overall, they're very minor. So the benefit to me is this one is a clear user. It's super durable, very comfy. It's much lighter, so it's easier to pocket. So to have a durable locking mechanism like this and a durable blade like this, and it to be significantly lighter is great. Yeah, I do have some dirt in that screw. Yeah, that was during a dirty job, but so I haven't cleaned it out, but need to. But at the same time, it operates just fine. Still, no blade play, no issues. That is just the lock. This little guy. I did try to swap these scales with the titanium on the slim. I actually couldn't. I believe it's this pen in particular is so well fitted in the liner right here that I could not get it out. I tried for a while to get it out, and I could not get it out. I might retry later down the road. We will see what happens there. But is this a recommendable knife? Yes, absolutely. One thing you'll notice is that the G10 does take some wear. You can see some scuffs. You can see discoloration eventually does occur with just normal use and normal carry. Even with cleaning it, this will still be here. Obviously you see that dust in there, which for the most part I can get rid of just by blowing in there or doing some compressed air. Really not that bad. These are not that bad to take apart, to be all honest with you. These screws there, this is a captive pivot, so screw that out. The only thing you really need to watch out is the spring that is in here. Either have a way of making sure, or just take it out. To be honest with you, set it aside. Now the fun part is obviously putting it back together and making sure it doesn't spring off into a random corner, and you will never will see it again. That might happen. So just be careful. It is not a great knife to take apart in the field because of that. That's my one criticism of any knife that has a spring, to be frank with you, to be real and honest. Still centered, sorry. But to be frank with you, that's my one criticism with the AD20. Is that it is not great to take apart in the field. If there was a way to make it where it was easier to take apart in the field, that would be awesome. Any way to make it so you're less likely to lose that spring. Obviously, there are ways that when you take it apart, put some tape on this side and then on that side, so when you take it out, the spring can't actually escape. That would probably be your best bet. But some people don't want to carry tape around with them constantly, so there's that. Jimping, by the way, is very serviceable, very usable. Not too aggressive where it's annoying, but also not too knocked down where it doesn't function at all. Ergo is, of course, great. Kind of very similar to what I said in the last video of the Slim. There's really not much different, to be honest with you. This just happens to be a user, and the reason is because I don't care about G10. I don't care about the orange. I don't care about any of this. I also trust the robust blade on this more than the Slim. It's just how that goes. It also is at the same time being robust, but also very slicey. So it cuts like a dream for the thickness. And honestly, if you saw me cut it just a second ago, it cuts just fine. It cuts for just fine for what everybody and everyday users will use it for. Simple. It's all about geometry, edge geometry. At the very end of the day, you can have a thick knife with terrible edge geometry and it's gonna cut terribly. You can have a thin knife with terrible edge geometry and it's also gonna cut terrible. And you can have a thick knife with a great edge geometry that will actually slice better than a thin knife with awful edge geometry. It's just how that works. And some people don't quite understand it, and that's fine. But no, this cuts great, and it feels great while cutting. Obviously, the one other knock you can really point to is the clip. It's not really a deep carry, but at the same time, I like being able to grasp it. I have this to grasp onto it to pull out of the pocket. And with the texturing and how this is, it's not texturing that will tear up your pocket. It will make it hard to get out of your pocket though. So having that extra grip there to pull it out is actually very handy. If you can hear the wind, sorry about it. It's a very windy day today. Yeah, and obviously it's a fidget factor. It's hard to do this on camera without hitting anything though. That's great. So, fidget factor, yes. Strong lock, yes. Quick deployment, yes. Reliable, ergonomic, yes. American made, yes. The really only knock you can really give it is its weight and the clip, and obviously it's not very serviceable in the field. Those are the really main things, but I don't care about weights. That's not a problem for me. The clip doesn't really bother me. It actually gives me extra grip to pull it out of the pocket. That's the only thing that really bothers me. Is if I get this extremely dirty and it's not wanting to deploy, or it deploys like absolute garbage, I can't really take it apart and service it. Or I risk losing the spring, and I really don't want to lose the spring. That's the whole thing. So that's my one honest critique to it. But sometimes that's just how it goes. Some designs just have a flaw in it that can't be fixed and necessarily doesn't need to be fixed. This is why you carry this and you carry this. If this needs to be serviced for any reason, and you can't do it in the field because of the spring, you don't want to lose it, then you have the Nkosi, or you have the XM18, or you have your Shaman, or you have your 940. Like, you have a backup. You should always carry a backup. But when it comes to durability of overall build, this is just fine. I don't really foresee this ever actually getting so gummed up that you can't deploy it, or where you absolutely have to service it. There might be a scenario that happens, but I don't really see it happen unless you take this and shove it into mud, pull it out, shove it back in over and over. And even then, I know it's 3V, but you can go into a nearby water source, or if you have water or something on you, clean it off, and then you should be okay. Before you open it, obviously you want to clean it off and get it all passed through before you actually deploy it, because if you do that, you can actually risk things getting more jammed up. So either way, there's not really a ton I can add to my other review that I had. At the end of the day, it is a great knife, very recommendable. If you see one available, as long as it's not an outrageous price, pick it up as quick as you possibly can. They're not easy to find. But yeah, you get a super well-built knife. You get a strong knife. You get a knife that can be a normal user, day-to-day user, but also be a workhorse that can be, what's the word for it? It can be used for hard use too. You really don't have to shy away from using it at all. Great ergonomics. You can choke up. You can do whatever you need with it. You can even do this if you really want to. This is actually pretty comfortable. So when you go like this, you can do that. Yeah. There's this is a very good knife. It's durable and can be a good user. And even if you want to just open boxes with it, it'll still function. But if you're in the trades or a job that needs a really heavy duty, trustable folding knife, look no further. It's one you should pick up. Obviously, if you're one of those that like the super light knives, something super light, then this will not be for you. But if weight is not your issue, you can obviously change the clip if you really want to. And if you don't care about the spring, pick it up. I mean, most people won't really care about the spring, to be honest with you. They'll be able to work on it in the comfort of their own home and won't have to worry about infield, taking it apart infield. So if you don't care about weight and you know you can change the pocket clip, or you kind of like the pocket clip, or don't care about the pocket clip, some are really only things that might deter you from picking one up. And if those aren't an issue to you, snag one as soon as you can get it. Don't pay outrageous prices though, heads up. Because on the secondary market, that will be a thing. So if you can't snag it directly from Demco, then I would just watch out and don't pay extreme prices. But I say they are worth it. In every sense of the word, the hype is real. They are quality and great users, and just should be in most people's collection if you can get a hold on one. But yeah, I know this color is not everybody's thing. It is not my thing, to be honest with you. I don't care for orange, but I can pass that up for having one of these in my collection. Yes, I know. I have this. But I wanted one that was full thickness and one that was the slim and full tie. I would like to get a full thickness and tie, but we will see what happens. But that's really it for this one, guys. There's not much else to add. Kind of rambled a little bit here, but I recommend this knife. And even if you don't care about how heavy it is, it might surprise you. Either way, that's gonna be it for this video. Please like the video, please subscribe, please follow the Instagram and like the Facebook page, and I will see you guys in the next one.